Ain't no other way out of this world of me. You got your engine up, gonna keep you on your feet. And you're alive in the fading twilight of the old sky. Takes a lot of balls to get the system linked. Can you pass? You said you never were part of that shit. You got your bankroll in your backpack in the dead of night. Take a look at this knife edge that we're dancing on. Now you got your games in here, it's time you're finally moving on. And yes, it's Ovation, I'm a flowing Philadelphia. Sweet hedonism, blasted entropy. Individual question in your own speed. When you stop to calibrate your longevity. The midnight hours now, you got your bag in hand. Take a look at this knife edge that we got all place. Now you got your kicks in here, time you're headed to another space. And that'll last it from its bed. You got your bankroll in your backpack, sneaking to the bed. We're blazing, burning torches in the dead of night. You got a dagger across a doorstep with intense light. You had your kingdom and your caveat and call your home. Now your taxi finally here, take you home. So, November is Remember Norman month. And that was our memorial song, A Backpack and a Bankroll for Norman Verhan, the botanist of Bombeck, the beloved provider of plants who left us 10 years ago. You were not forgotten. Now, there's almost too much to say about this Ovation Deacon, so I won't even try. Let's get right down to the sound samples before I bore you with the nerd rant here in the most professional quality on the Boss Mini Katana. Let's get right down to it. So that is both pickups with a phase selector at normal and the tone knob at normal. So the first thing to remember with this is it's active electronics with two 9 volts and a treble boost. So basically it goes from pretty bright to very bright and extremely ice pick bright. So let's run through the tone knob first. Here's all the way down, the darkness. Go back to normal. Extremely bright all the way up. So, hope it's coming through that this is extremely bright. And here's the phase thing, something I'm not sure if I would ever use this in real life, but you'll never know. So I'm putting everything back to normal. Here's the neck pickup only. Treble all the way up. Treble all the way off. And let's go all the way down to the bridge pickup. Normal. And the phase selector set to weird. And some crunchy sounds. And a little bit of super distortion with the brown sound. Okay, so if you made it through all those sound samples, you're mighty brave, and it's time to reward you with the Nerd Rant. Ovation was founded in 1965 by helicopter engineer Charles Huron Cayman, who incorporated his work with carbon fiber and other composite materials into guitar design. But you can read the whole backstory on interwebs. But basically, before they took over the acoustic electric market with those bowl backs that everybody's crazy about and everybody knows them for, Ovation had a wide array of solid bodies that had all sorts of innovative features which did not necessarily translate into commercial success. The Ovation Deacon came out in late 1972 as the deluxe version of the Ovation Breadwinner and ran production until 1980. There are plenty of theories as to why they weren't a bigger success, but I'll take a gander and say it was probably the price. The $449 they went for back in '73 is equivalent to a whopping $3,111 of today's Bidenflation bucks. The other trouble was that they only had a handful of people endorsing them, and none of them was a Hendrix Page Crapton A-list monster that people are going to pay $3,000 to imitate. It doesn't matter that Colin Newman of Wire is an A-lister to me. One top-shelf hero of post-punk was not enough to create the necessary buzz. And I'll give an honorable mention to Matthew Melton of Dream Machine, who I do unironically think are cool, but they didn't start until relatively recently. But enough of the half-assed history lesson, let's get down to business. The most notable feature, apart from the outlandish but ergonomic body shape, is the pickups and active electronics. Indeed, these were the first active guitars in large-scale production. And that might have been part of the problem, because it's a feature that 1970s guitarists might not have been aware of at all, let alone ready to pay $3,000 for. And as you heard in the sound samples, it's got a brightness you'd never expect from humbuckers. The massive ice pick treble boost, as well as the out-of-phase switch, are sounds that a lot of people would simply never use. Add a 24-fret neck, and you'll see how this guitar was ahead of its time, as these features wouldn't truly catch on until much later. The unique brass saddle bridge surely contributed even more to the excessively bright sound. The Ovation bridge is something you'll have to experience for yourself. Something about it seems to give the strings an extra snappy response. But I'd need a physicist to explain me how that works. Like Howard Thrust. Hey Howard! You left some great comments about engineering on that AGC video. Have you got anything to say about the Ovation bridge system? Anyway, it's highly adjustable and all mounted on this big huge screw that runs through the body and turns to set the elevation up and down. And it's got a really nice neck. Thin, narrow, 24 smallish frets, and a great V profile. It seems like it's designed for high-precision players, and not for heavy-handed hack-and-slashers like me. Bolt-on, of course, two-piece construction. Nice headstock angle for plenty of tension over the nut. An ebony fretboard with mother-of-pearl inlays, which, along with the finish, is the main feature that distinguishes the Deacon from the Breadwinner. And the body shape is clearly not just a gimmick. It sits on your leg and gives you an armrest for a nice sit-down position, which, let's face it, doesn't even matter to most of us. But it might have been a turn-off to more traditionally minded players,
even though outlandish shapes were nothing new in the 70s. It certainly won't stay put on a regular guitar stand, that's for sure, so you're going to need one of those neck hanger stands to get it to stay upright. So, what do you think of this Batwing Battle Axe body? Smash or pass? I, for one, consider it absolutely iconic. That and its big brother, the Magnum Bass, the crown jewel of Ovation's solid body era. But that's a story for another time. So I confess, I've always been an Ovation solid body fan, even though I'm not skilled enough to get the most out of him. And I got some more in my stash to show you once I finally dig him out. But of course there's always stuff to bitch about, so now it's time to neg the target. My main gripe is the output jack being mounted to the pickguard. Even with a nice angled jack, this is an accident waiting to happen. And this plastic on these 50-year-old guitars tends to get mighty crispy over the years, so it's just a matter of time before sweet entropy works its magic. Come to think of it, with all the switches and circuitry, this guitar sure does have a lot of points of potential failure. There is also the matter of mahogany and how it's soft and short-grained and probably doesn't even do anything to improve the sound, but I'll save the Tonewood Wars for his grooviness, Scott Grove. And as you can see, this guitar has a lot of mojo, i.e. somebody beat the fuck out of it, which is the only reason I have ever dared to take it out in public. Pre-scarred for a carefree ride, and those battle scars are the reason I picked this up for a paltry 450 euro bucks back in 2011. My dentist sold it to me, Dr. Jörn Bender in Bamberg. With a pleasant professional practice and a well-nigh unlimited resources to procure as many instruments as he desires, I'd say he's living the dream. And he sold me his stash of 5 old Ovations for a mere 2.5 bills. Thanks a million, Dr. Bender. But despite my attraction to Ovations, I have yet to do much serious work with this axe. After all, in Shy Squad, I was damn near baritone only for the past 10 years. But I pulled it out at the beginning of the year when I was working on the final songs of the late, great Tommy Stumpf. And I was flabbergasted to find how great it sounded for my primitive direct-to-Tascam recordings. Crystal clear, dynamic, and mighty lively without any processing whatsoever. I figure it must have something to do with the active electronics. And once I got acclimated to the short scale and narrow neck, I recognized its superior playability. So I strung it up with a set of 9s and decided to make it my hot rod for whatever I can pass off as flashy lead work. Maybe terrorist in mind, maybe sandbag-ot, maybe even Hall of Violence. You'll definitely be hearing the Deacon in future projects.
And I got a bunch more old school Ovations back there in the back of the rumpus room, and I'll be following up with that as soon as I dig them out. So that about does it. If you're into old school Ovation hard bodies, why don't you chime in with your feedback or let me know if I missed anything about these unusual and extraordinary instruments. Might as well wrap it up and take you out with the traditional Shy Squad outro.